Welcome back to Chasing Shadows. I'm your host, Mark Miners, and tonight we're driving into the fog of one of America's most iconic ghost stories. A tale so gripping it's not only haunted Chicago's Archer Avenue, but also left its mark on Hollywood and television screens across the nation. It's a cold October night, the kind where the air smells of rain-soaked asphalt and forgotten flowers. You're cruising down Archer Avenue, a desolate stretch south of Chicago, when a figure in a white dress steps into your headlights, waving desperately. Her face is pale, her eyes distant. You stop. She slides into your car, her presence colder than the autumn wind. "To the cemetery," she whispers, her voice like a half-remembered song. But when you reach the gates of Resurrection Cemetery, she's gone, leaving nothing but a shiver and a story that's inspired countless retellings in pop culture. Tonight, we chase Resurrection Mary, the Vanishing Hitchhiker whose ghostly rides have fueled films, TV episodes, and nightmares for nearly a century. So throw on your headphones, buckle up, and keep one eye on the rear view. Let's set the scene in December 1939. Chicago's locked in a brutal winter, the kind that bites through your coat and chills your bones. John Reiser, a young cab driver, is cruising Archer Avenue, hunting for a late-night fare. Around 1 a.m. near 66th and Archer, he sees her, a girl in her early 20s, blonde hair loose, dressed in a white party gown that looks torn from a 1920s dance card. No coat, despite the sub-zero cold. Her hands tremble, not from the frost, but from something deeper, something wrong. "Take me to the Holy Sepulchre Cemetery," she says, her voice soft, almost musical. Reiser, a no-nonsense Southsider, shrugs and lets her in. She sits silently in the back, staring out at the snow-dusted streets, her eyes catching the glow of passing lights. As they near Resurrection Cemetery, its iron gates looming like silent sentinels, she grows agitated. "Stop here," she insists, pointing to the entrance. Reiser pulls over, flips on the dome light to collect his fare. She hands him a crisp $10 bill, fresh as if minted that day, and offers a faint, sorrowful smile. "Keep the change." Before he can respond, she's out, her white dress shimmering in the headlights as she drifts towards the gates. Reiser glances at the bill, then back up. She's gone. Vanished. No footprints in the snow. No trace of her slipping through the bars. Just an empty road and the wind moaning through the pines. Reiser didn't sleep that night. He drove straight to the police, swearing he'd carried a ghost. Skeptics called him a drunk, a storyteller. But he wasn't alone. Tales of a lady in white on Archer Avenue stretch back to the 1920s, even the 1910s. A streetcar motorman in 1916 swore he picked up a girl in white near the same exact spot. She vanished mid-ride, leaving the windows frosted by her chill. By the 1930s, the stories piled up like fallen leaves. A 1934 delivery driver said she appeared from nowhere, her dress glowing like silk, only to dissolve at the cemetery gates. In 1937, two men nearly crashed when she materialized in their back seat, her icy fingers grazing their necks before she faded with a sigh. Who was she? Chicago's Irish Catholic community spun theories. Some pointed to Mary Bregovy, a 20-year-old factory worker killed in a 1934 car crash. Her white dress bloodied, her body laid out in the same dress for her burial at Resurrection Cemetery, Plot 29A. Others named Anna Norcus, a 12-year-old drowned in 1927, reburied there in white. Or perhaps Effie Hilton, a jilted bride who wandered in her gown before dying of heartbreak in 1873. No name fits perfectly, but the sightings align. Young, blonde, dressed for a dance, tethered to the grave. Locals say she's a restless spirit, murdered on her way home from a prom or a ball, doomed to hitchhike until someone names her killer, or forgives them. The 1970s thrust Mary into the national spotlight. In June 1976, sanitation worker Chester Welsh saw a woman in white pressing her face against the cemetery's iron bars. Her hands clawing, her dress fluttering like a shroud. He approached, but her features blurred, dissolving into the fog with only her sobs lingering. The next day he returned with a camera, but there was nothing. But 2 weeks later, on July 1st, the impossible. The gate's bars were bent outward, shaped like a handprint where her fingers had gripped. The cemetery welded them shut, but photos of Mary's hand spread like wildfire, drawing crowds, psychics, and a 1977 TV crew from The Night Stalker. The bars were replaced, but the legend and the imprint endured. Mary's ghost hasn't stayed confined to Chicago's streets. She's haunted pop culture for decades, her story too eerie to resist. In 1998, the public TV documentary Haunted Chicago delved into her tale, interviewing witnesses and historians, cementing her as a Windy City icon. Anthology shows have leaned in hard. Unsolved Mysteries recreated her 1930s cab ride, its grainy reenactments chilling viewers as her figure dissolves into the night. A Haunting on Sci-Fi spun her story into a spectral drama, with EVPs whispering her pleas over haunting visuals. Destination America's Chicago specials paired real witness accounts with ghostly reenactments, amplifying her myth to a national audience. On the big screen, Resurrection Mary wove a supernatural thriller around a man's ill-fated encounter with her, blending romance and dread in foggy ballrooms. While a 2007 film of the same name took a darker turn, with the teen driver picking her up, sparking murders tied to her curse. Both films, though low budget, captured her allure. Her white dress, her sorrow, her sudden absence, making her a Halloween staple for all horror fans. Modern sightings keep her alive. In 1989, college student Michael Norman picked her up on Archer, her dress smelling of lilies and earth, humming the same Irish lullaby before vanishing at the gates. In 2007, a cabbie snapped a blurry photo of her in his mirror. Skeptics cried, "Double exposure," but he swore it was her. Just last year in 2024, a rideshare driver posted on X about a passenger in white who melted into the back seat, leaving a pearl earring that dissolved like mist. Ghost hunters hit Resurrection Cemetery every single October, their EVPs catching whispers, "Home," or "Dance with me," amid the crunching leaves. Skeptics point to the swamp gas or grief-fueled visions, but witnesses feel her chill, smell her perfume, hear her plea. She's not vengeful, they say. She's just lost. Resurrection Mary isn't just a ghost. She's a cultural phantom. Her story flickering across TV screens in movie theaters, from Unsolved Mysteries' eerie reenactments to the haunting frames of Resurrection Mary films. She's a warning, a whisper from the veil that thins come All Hallows Eve, reminding us that the dead don't always rest, especially when they're seeking one last ride home. Is she Mary Bregovy, betrayed by a night of joy turned tragedy, or every lost soul who danced too close to death? Drive Archer at midnight if you dare. But if you see white in your mirror, you better keep driving. That's it for tonight's episode. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that too.